So, in keeping with our theme of collaboration, there is no other more important relationship between researchers and our participants. Because we're well on the way in the recruitment of our third generation, we've brought together a whole family of Generation 3 participants. They're sisters. And they were more than willing to interview Professor and Scientific Director Rebecca Glauert. They say never work with children and animals, but that's not true this time. They were a dream to work with, and I think they posed you some tricky questions, Beck. So let's see what they had to say.
Hi everyone, I'm Avery and welcome to a special edition of the Raine Study News. Today we go straight to the source to find out about our Gen 3 follow-up. We find out what researchers will do with all those samples of blood, wee and saliva and how these can be used to help answer big questions about our health. We investigate what happens to the information once it's been collected and how researchers can use the Raine Study to help with their research. Recently, we sent our fabulous Gen 3 reporters to find the answers to these and many more questions about the unique opportunities offered by the Raine Study. So let's find out more. Hi, my name is Judy Rose. And I'm Hannah. Welcome, Professor Beck. Thank you so much for your time today.
No problem. It's so nice to be here. I always love meeting our Gen 3 participants. It's so cool.
And we're excited to be part of the Raine Study. But I do have a few questions for you, which I hope is okay.
Absolutely. Fire away.
What made you decide to include us Gen 3 kids in the study?
The researchers have been following your mummy for 35 years. We have wanted to follow up the babies, and we've been wanting to do that for a really long time, but we've never actually had the money to do it. And thanks to Telethon 7 Trust, they've sponsored us to be able to bring in our Gen 3s, which is you, so that we can start looking at the health and well-being of the next generation. And that has a really big impact on what we know about the health and well-being of kids and adults in our society. And what we want to do as scientists is make sure that everybody in Australia is as happy and healthy as they can possibly be. And the only way we can do that is through science.
So what ages are all the Gen 3 kids?
So all of the Gen 2 kids are born within 2 years of each other, but our Gen 3 kids are born across a period of about 18, 19 years. And because we do have such a large range of ages, we actually group our Gen 3 participants into specific age ranges. So we collect information at infancy, and then we collect information at kind of toddler or early childhood, and then middle to late childhood, and then early adolescence. And what we're really hoping is that we're actually going to be able to follow you up for your whole lives so that you can have information collected at each of those different time points, and the researchers can put the information together and look at the data for children across those different age ranges. We have researchers who work across all kinds of human health and wellbeing areas, and when they ask for information, we package it all up and we give it to the researchers so that they can answer the questions as quickly as possible. So that means that they don't have to collect the information themselves. We have information for over 35 years, and we can look at the generational impacts.
I'm only 6 years old, so that sounds like a very long time for me.
It is a really long time, and in fact the Raine Study is one of the longest running studies of its kind in the whole world. We've got hundreds of researchers who look across different parts of the human body, and we found out some really important things. So for example, we know that kids who do more sport when they're younger have stronger bones, and it's really important to have strong bones later in life. So make sure you get into your sport when you're young now. We've also found that children who sleep better and more regularly in early life have better mental health later. And we also know that vitamin D is really important for your eyes.
Wow, that's amazing. And we get to be a part of the research while we're still kids.
Well, thanks Professor Beck for joining us today and for explaining what happens to the information you're collecting from us Gen 3s. We'll look forward to hearing about the findings that come from our data in the future. Now it's back to Avery in the studio.
Thank you, and we can't wait to share those findings with you. And thank you for participating in this really important study.
Wow, it sounds like there's amazing progress being made with our Gen 3 follow-up so far, and everything is tracking just as planned. Thank you so much, Hannah, Georgie Rose, and Professor Beck for the fantastic interview. See you next time.
Thank you, Telethon, for supporting us at the Raine Study to bring in Generation 3. This is a momentous piece of work that has been conducted because of your generous support. We are able to look at the intergenerational impacts of health and wellbeing for children across WA, but also internationally, which is really, really important for finding out what makes happy and healthy kids for the rest of their lives. Thanks, Telethon.
Thanks, Telethon!
One Avery, Georgie, Rose and Hannah, absolutely fantastic and well done, Beck. So courageous, so enthusiastic, just budding stars, and special thanks, as Beck said, to the Channel 7 Telethon Trust.